Christmas Eve on Sodor. Everywhere was covered with snow. Children were looking at toys in the toy shop, and there were carolers singing all around. This year, Thomas had been chosen to pull the presents train. He would be delivering presents to all his friends. The Arlesdale engines. Merry Christmas, Thomas. Merry Christmas, Frank, Jock. To the narrow gauge engines. Hi, Thomas. Merry Christmas, everyone. And to Mrs. Kindly. Thomas was just on his way to Mrs. Kindly's cottage when, "Halt!" said a policeman. Thomas stopped. The track up ahead is blocked by snow," said the policeman. "You must have your snowplow before you go through here." "All right," said Thomas. "I'll get my snowplow on." Though, truly, it wasn't all right for him. He didn't like his snowplow. It was awkward and very uncomfortable for him. Soon, Thomas's snowplow had been fitted on him. He was ready to go. It had snowed a lot while the workmen had put the snowplow on. "If it was very snowy before," said Thomas, "it's sure to be really, really, really snowy on that track now." He soon arrived where the policeman was again. "Looks like you have a snowplow now," said the policeman. "You can go." He hurried away, and so did Thomas. But then, as he traveled down the line, he wasn't thinking of much. But then, oh no! A giant snowdrift! Luckily, no one had been hurt, but Thomas was buried underneath all the snow. Back at the shunting yards, all the engines were watching an annual Christmas fireworks display. "Oh my," said Spencer. "They're beautiful." And they were. Colors spouted everywhere. But Percy noticed something. "Where's Thomas gone?" he said. "He never misses the annual fireworks show, especially not the Christmas one. He loves these fireworks. I must go look for him." So then, Percy did. He backed along the track, and soon he came to the harbor. Bulstrode was there. "Bulstrode, have you seen Thomas?" asked Percy. "Well, I did see him going down that line over there," said Bulstrode. "Headed to Mrs. Kindly's, I think. But we warned. That policeman won't let you pass unless you have a snowplow." "Well, I need to find my friend Thomas," said Percy. So, he shunted along. Then, there was the policeman. Or rather, there was the policeman. "Stop," he said. "No engine can go that way now, even with a snowplow. The snow is too deep." "I'm going to find my friend Thomas, and that's that," said Percy. "Oh, yeah? Well, if you try and pass me, you're..." Ow. Percy hurried along. Then all of a sudden, he couldn't stop. The rails were too slippery. He jumped off at a curve and landed in the snow. Poor Percy. Meanwhile, further down the line, Thomas was still sitting in the snow. "Oh dear," he said. "I shall never get out. Wish there was something I could do. Or at least, I wish I could move. Or at least, I wish help would come." "Oh, ho, ho," said a voice. And there, down the line in front of him, was Santa Claus. Tom was surprised. "Santa Claus?" he said. "What are you doing here?" "I'm delivering presents, of course. I only have a few more runs to make. I saw you over here, left my sleigh, and came to see what was the matter." "I'm stuck," said Thomas, "and I've got no one to help me." "Well, I don't think I have a way to help," What? Wait a minute. Yes, I do, said Santa. And he got out a pair of skis and ski poles. You can use these, said Santa, so your driver can ski back to the yard, find another engine, and help you out. Oh, thank you, Santa, said Thomas. By the way, what time is it? Almost midnight, said Santa. Oh dear, said Thomas, and I still have to deliver my present to Mrs. Kindly. Don't worry, said Santa. I'll deliver it for you, he said. You will? Oh, thank you, Santa, said Thomas. This is the best Christmas present ever. Ho, ho, ho. Okay then, Thomas. And Santa left. He grabbed the package and hurried away to Mrs. Kindly's house. That was the last time Thomas would see of Santa. So, Thomas's driver carefully climbed out of the snow, and there he stood. He and soon had the ski poles in his hands. He skied away, back to the big station. He soon arrived at the yards. Duck was there. Duck, said Thomas's driver, I need your help, quickly. You must fetch the breakdown train and come down Mrs. Kindly's line. It's an emergency. Thomas is stuck. Really? Said Duck. Percy went to look for Thomas. Did you notice him on the way? As a matter of fact, I did. Now we'll need a double rescue, said Thomas's driver. Come on. And Duck chuffed away. He was hurrying down the line as fast as his wheels could carry him. He arrived at the yard, and there was the breakdown train. He coupled up, back down to the siding switch, and pushed it down the line towards Mrs. Kindly's house. And there ahead was Percy. Percy wasn't that hard to rescue. Duck needed only to couple up to Percy and pull him back on the rails. Thank you, Duck, said Percy. Where's Thomas? Up there, said Duck. See the freight car sticking out in the blue thing? You're right, said Percy. That is Thomas. Let's go. Percy coupled up to Thomas. We're here for help. We're here with help, Thomas, called Percy. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Percy. Who else is with you? I hear another engine. It's Duck, said Percy. Together we'll get you out. I'll try and help too, said Thomas. Heave, ho, heave, ho. And they did. And carefully they pulled Thomas out of the snowdrift. Thank you, Duck. Thank you, Percy, said Thomas. Now let's all go back and watch the fireworks, said Percy. And the three engines pulled away. When Mrs. Kindly woke up that morning, she was surprised. She was very pleased. Engines, especially Thomas, Percy, and Duck, had to agree that it had been the best Christmas ever.